All right.
Hey guys, I'm Kat and I've got Dan with me. Today we're going to take you through a shoulder pre-up class. Just before we get started, grab yourself a broomstick, a couple of yoga blocks or thick books, a light dumbbell. If you have a big long resistance band, a slider or something else like socks or a Tupperware lid will do, and a tennis ball. And then we're going to start with a little body limber before we get stuck into it. So Dan is just going to start in a tall position, arms by his side. We're going to work through a few neck casts here. So he's going to take his chin to his chest. Then he's going to draw his chin along his clavicle, look over his shoulder, side bend. Now he's extending through the back. He's going to side bend each shoulder, rotate, and then bring his chin back around. We're going to reverse, go the other way. We're going to work through 2 reps in each direction here. So slow, controlled reps. Any pinching, any pain, just make the circle a little bit smaller and avoid that sensation. We don't want to push through that. And as you can see, Dan is keeping his body really still. There is no twisting or turning, no rounding through his back. It's all happening up through his neck. Good. And then once you've completed that second rep there, Dan is going to take his hands across his chest, and we're going to do the same for his thoracic spine. So he's going to round forward, and same motion as before. He's going to rotate to one side. Then he's going to side bend, shoulder to hip. Now he's going to extend through that upper back, come over to the side, other side, side bend, rotate, and then he's going to come back around the front. From there, we're going to reverse, going the other way, taking it through the exact same motion. Keeping the hips really still. So guys, imagine from your belly button down, you're cemented in, you can't move. You don't want to shift the hips around. And just completing 2 controlled reps here. Each direction. Good. So taking your time, you want to make this nice and accurate, fighting for the biggest circle that you can make there. Nice. Once you've completed that second rep in the other direction, pop your left arm across your body. You're going to take the right hand, you're going to work through some shoulder casts. So externally rotate through the shoulder, and then you're going to bring the arm across your body, keeping the elbow nice and straight, all the way up into flexion. Once you hit your roadblock, internally rotate, so focusing on the movement coming from the shoulder, not from the wrist. Take the arm out by your side, and then into extension, up, unravel the rotation, back into external as you bring the arm across and down by your side. One more on this side before we swap it over. So it's really easy to just move your palm to have the hand facing out at the bottom, but the motion should all come from your shoulder. Same rule applies here. Any pain or any pinching, just make that circle a little smaller. Once you've done that, you're going to swap it over to the other side. So externally rotate, bring the arm across, find that roadblock. Ribs are staying down, so the arm across the front will help tell you if you start to flare them. And then slowly reversing that motion. Good. We've got one more full rep on the side. Nice. Try and find a big circle, no leaning side to side here. Good. From there, we're going to take the feet out into a little bit of straddle, hands on the hips, and then just going through a few trunk circles. Just starting on keeping the legs nice and straight, shoulders stay over your ankles, and we're just circling the hips around. Good. And then changing direction there. Nice. Just limbering up a little more. Good. And then we pause there. I'm going to get Dan to come down onto all fours into a quadruped position. Maybe go side on if that's all right. And we're going to just work through a few cat and cows here. So start by rounding your spine as much as you can. So pull the belly button in. You're going to tuck your tail, round your upper back, tuck your chin in, and now slowly working the other way. So don't worry about segmenting it too much just yet. Just going through a few reps here. Moving that whole spine, finding the end range in each direction. So as much flexion and as much extension as you can. Good. And then next time you come into flexion, so when you're rounding that back, pause there, and now from your tailbone, start to work your way up, one vertebra at a time. So tuck your tail, and then slowly work your way up through that lower back, mid back, into the upper back, and then last thing is Dan's head coming up. Pause there, go back to your tailbone, and then work your way back into flexion. So tuck the tail under, and then slowly think about a string of pearls, work your way up. That's fine, only moving the next vertebra in line. And we're going to go one more full rep. From flexion into extension. And once you hit the extension, make your way back into flexion. Good, and then you can pause there. Just come back into a neutral position. You're going to take our right hand behind the head, and then you're going to bring the right elbow across to the left, and then rotate up through to the ceiling. So elbow goes across, and then rotate up, look to the ceiling, try and get as much movement through there as you can. We're going for 5 reps on each side. Good, so hand is just resting on the back of your head. You're not pushing down too hard on it or pulling on it. Just working into a little bit of rotation here. Good, and once you've done 5 on one side, you can swap it over to the other side. And once you've done your 5th, you just sit back into a child's pose for a moment. Good, so finding as much range here as you can. Work with your breath. And then sitting back onto your heels when you're ready. Arms out in front of you. And now we're just going to work into a seal position for 3 reps. So round your spine, scoop the belly button in. You're going to come forward, lower the hips to the floor. You're going to open up the chest. You're going to try and open up through the shoulders as much as we can. Look up to the ceiling, and then tuck your chin and round your spine as you work your way back into the child's pose. Just working at your own pace here. Take a breath there, and then working back through into your seal. When you hit that seal, you might want to add a couple rotations left, right, if that feels good. Otherwise, you can just go straight back into your child's pose. Really focusing on maxing out your flexion and your extension here as well. 1 more rep. Good, really nice. And then finishing this rep in your child's pose. Nice work. From there, I'm going to get Dan to come around, sit on his butt, and bring the hands back behind him for a few table raises. So fingers pointing away from you. If this is too strong on your elbows, you can have the hands pointing out to the side. Just try not to have them point towards your hips. From there, Dan is going to really open his shoulders. So shoulder blades pulling together behind him, and then he's going to bring his hips up in line with the shoulders and knees, and then coming back down. Just let's go through a few reps here, guys. So joining in when you're ready. And going up for 2. 3. Good. Really try and focus on an open chest. Up for 4. 5. And we'll do 3 more from here. So 8 reps all up. Good. That's 6. 7. And last rep here. 8. Good. As you come down, you might want to roll your shoulders and or your elbows off if you feel like you need to. And then we're going to grab the broomstick and come into a standing position. So we're going to work, sorry, I'm you back in the head there. We're going to start with Inlocates today, guys. So Dan's going to have the stick behind his back, palms facing forward. Okay, so that hand position is important here. He's going to have a nice firm grip on the stick, and then he's going to take the stick all the way up and over his head and bring it around the front. Okay, his elbows are nice and locked. There's no bend there, and he's not opening up the hands. He's keeping a firm grip. So when you're ready, let's get into that, and we're going to work here for 60 seconds. So setting up, palm facing forward. If you find that you can't get through there without your elbows bending, I'm going to get you to slide your hands out a little bit wider. If you feel like the shoulders are not doing much there, wiggle your hands in a little closer. Good, and you can see as Dan is bringing the stick up overhead, he's really driving the stick up, reaching to the ceiling. and his ribs are down. So he's not flaring and arching through his back. He's keeping a nice holistic position through his body. Good. We're over halfway. We've got about 20 seconds to go. As always, guys, it's not about the quantity and the number of reps you can achieve in that minute, but about the quality. So rather do a few less, but really good quality reps. Good. And we're doing one more full rep here. And once the stick is back behind you and you've completed the rep full, you can pause there. Good. All right, from there, we're going to come onto the floor into a sleeper stretch. So grab one of your yoga blocks and you can use that as a pillow. We're going to start on the left side. So Dan is lying on his side. He's got the block under his head and the shoulder away from his ear. He's lining up his elbow at the shoulder and then his wrist is over the elbow. So there's a 90-degree angle on his arm. Then he's using his top arm to gently push that forearm to the floor. He's pushing on his wrist, not just on the hand. And let's all get into that position and find a bit of a stretch there first. As you do this, try not to let the shoulder get hiking up too much, but keep the shoulder set down and back. And we're going to work through a couple contractions here, guys. The first one, Dan will be pushing his forearm into his top hand, like he's trying to push it back to the starting position. And for the second one, he won't be using the top hand, but he's actively pulling the bottom hand into the floor, deeper into that stretch. We're going to work through 2 10-second contractions in each position. So let's inhale and start to gently push that bottom arm up into that top hand. Gradually build up the tension. And let's find your maximum effort here. And we're going to hold for another 8, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now reverse. Try and pull that bottom arm away from the top hand into the floor. Good. Keep pulling nice and strong. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Moving the top hand down onto the bottom hand. Take a breath there. And we're going to repeat one more time. So inhale, gently pushing up into your top hand, building up the intensity. And let's find your max push there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And reverse, bottom hand pulling down and away deeper into the stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, pulling nice and hard, another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the top hand down. Good. Just taking another breath here before we come out. So after a nice long exhale, you can slowly take that top hand off and then gently come out of that position. Really nice. All right, we're going to transition to the other side. If you feel like you need to roll the shoulder off a few times as you do, please go for it. And then at your own pace, setting up on the other side. So head is resting on the block. Shoulder and elbow aligned, stack that wrist over your elbow and then use your top hand to gently push into that internal rotation. Just going to hold there for a couple of breaths and then we will add those contractions. Just recapping, first one, you'll be pushing the bottom hand up, back to where it came from. Second one, you're going to try and pull it deeper into the stretch towards the floor. All right, let's inhale, guys, and then gently start to push up with that bottom arm, try and fight out of that stretch. And building it up to your max effort now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And reverse straight away, pulling down into the floor away from your top hand for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move that top hand down. So try not to let that bottom arm come back up. Stay nice and deep in that stretch. And we're going for one more round here, guys. Start to gently push that bottom hand up. Building up that intensity. Find your max push and we're going to hold there. Try and maintain the same consistent push through the entire contraction. We've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now reverse, pull down to the floor. Hardest effort, guys. Strong as you can. Keep pulling down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move the top hand down. Take another breath there. And then after your exhale, you can slowly come out of that position. Good, well done. Roll the shoulders off, and then we're going to come back into our table position for the next one. And we're going to work through shoulder taps here. So the starting position is a tabletop that we did in the warm-up. So we're driving the hips up. Try and open the shoulders, line the hips and knees up. From there, Dan is going to take his hand to his shoulder. He's going to gently tap and then place that hand back down and change to the other side. So I'm going to get you to join in when you're ready. So find your table, and we're going to work through 30 seconds. If the shoulder taps is too much, the timer is on now, then you can just hold the table or go through the reps of bringing your hips up and down. So you've got a few options. Dan is pushing hard through the shoulder that's supporting him on the floor. There's a slight shift from side to side, but we want to minimize how much that's happening, and we also want to avoid bending the elbow. Try and place the hand that's coming down back into the position that you took it from on the floor, and avoid letting your hand slide out wider and wider. And then finishing after that next rep there. Good. All right, we're going to work through one more round, starting with the Inlocates. So I'm going to get you to grab your broomstick, and then we'll start with the stick behind your back again, palms facing forward, firm grip, and then when you're ready, guys, we've got 60 seconds here. So bring that stick up, reach it up over your head, bring it around the front, keeping a firm grip on your stick, and then all the way back to your starting position. So once again, elbows stay locked all the way through, and Dan is not flaring the ribs. He's got a really nice still body position there. Good. And then if you feel like the shoulders have loosened up a little bit to your first round, maybe see if you can wiggle the fingers in even just a tad. If the shoulders are working hard enough where you're at, then stay with that. And we're already over halfway. Working into the last 15 seconds. And guys, as the stick comes in, try not to stick your head out either. Keep nice and still. Only thing moving is those shoulders. Really nice. We've got one more rep. Nice and controlled. Good. And once you're back at the starting position, you can pop the stick aside. Well done. We're going to grab that yoga block again, and we're going to take the tennis ball. We're going to change this one up slightly for the second round. So we did the contractions on the last one. This time we're going to set up in the same position as we did before. So elbow and shoulder aligned, elbow and wrist aligned. Dan is going to crush our tennis ball with his hand. And now we're going to work through 10 reps. So he's actively pulling into his internal rotation. So he's keeping the elbow in line with the shoulder, and now he's going to pull that forearm down to the floor without the assistance of the other hand. Okay. At the bottom, he's going to pause. He's going to see if he can squeeze out another centimeter, or millimeter also, and then you're going to come back up to the starting position. We're going to work through 10 reps, and you have a 10-second hold on your last one here. So let's set up. Squeeze that tennis ball so there's a little bit of radiation through your body. And then start to pull that forearm to the floor. Good. Into that bottom position, pause there, and slowly back up. Try not to let the elbow slide up and down. It's just rotating the shoulder. That's 2. And back up. Good. Down for 3. Big squeeze. Max out your range before you come up. 4. Good. 5. Nice, we've got 5 more. See if you can get a little deeper into those. Going for 6, 7. Backing off any pain or any pinching, anything like that. 8. Going for 9. And last one, we've got the hold. So bring that forearm down, pull into your internal rotation, holding there. Actively pulling into this all the way through, not just relaxing there. We've got another 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly back up to the top. Good work. All right, we're switching it over to the other side. So just rolling over, set yourself up. Making sure that shoulder is down away from your ear and stays on the floor. It's not hiking up and moving as you work through those rotations. Squeeze the tennis ball with your hand and then slowly start to pull into that first rep. Good. Big squeeze at the bottom and back up. Top hand is not helping this time. 2. And coming back up. Good. 3. That's it. 4. And slowly back up. 5. Max out your range there. 6. Beautiful. 7. Keep squeezing that tennis ball, keeping the tension. 8. Last couple reps, guys. We're going to finish with a hold. Going for 9. And back up. And now come down for 10. Find your end range. Actively pull into that stretch. I want you to fight for it all the way through. Nice strong pull. Going for another 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly back up to the top. Good. All right, we're going back into the shoulder taps in our table position one more time. So you can pop the block and the tennis ball aside for now. Thank you. And then setting up, really try and open up the shoulders first. So squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you, chest out, bring your hips up, and then working through 30 seconds of shoulder taps here. So slow and steady, reaching one hand to the same side shoulder. You can just hold the table if the shoulder taps are too much, or work through tabletop raises. So you bring the hips up and down. Good. As you can see, Dan is looking straight up to the ceiling. He's not letting his head drop back behind him. His hips are staying nice and high. Good. So if they start to drop, squeeze your butt, bring them up. Keep that chest open still. And we have got one more up there. And pause. Good. Well done, guys. All right, if you need to grab a quick drink, go for it. We'll give it about 30 seconds and then we'll jump into our next set. Yeah. All right, guys, feel free to grab a quick drink. We're going to restart the camera and then we'll keep going. So it won't be long. All right, guys, so we're going to move to our next set. We're going to start with windmills. So if you have a light dumbbell that you can use, feel free to grab that. Otherwise, use the tennis ball that we used previously, okay? Dan is going to set up. We're going to start with the left hand. So his left toes are pointing forward and the right toes are out to the side, okay? From there, he's going to take the arm straight up overhead and he's going to slide his right arm down along the leg as he's going to rotate through that shoulder. So he's going into internal rotation as much as he can. And then from there, he's going to drive up, unravel that rotation all the way back to the top, okay? We're going to work for 10 reps each side here. So when you're ready, let's get set up and then working through the reps together. So let's go down for 1. Keeping your wrist over your shoulder the entire time and up. Good. Down for 2. If you can't get all the way down to the floor as Dan is, that's totally fine. Just come halfway down or you can bend the knees if that helps. And up for 3. That focuses on what the shoulder is doing here. 4. You're leading the rotation with your pinky finger. And up, good. And you're keeping an eye on your hand and the dumbbell all the way through. That's 6.
6, yeah.
6, yeah. There we go. Lost the count. Had to happen. 7. Good, guys. So nice and controlled rotations. If you need to work at a slower pace, that's perfectly fine. That's 8. 2 more. So once again, focus on the quality. And we've got one more rep going for 10. As much rotation through there as you can. And drive back up. Good. Once you've completed your 10th rep, swap it over. So take the weight of the tennis ball into the other hand, right hand now. Now your right toes are pointing forward and the left out to the side. You're going to swap the feet here as well. Let's take that right arm up and overhead. And then when you're ready, come down, internally rotate through the shoulder as much as you can, and then unravel as you drive up. You can see Dan's elbow is nice and straight. There's no bend there. His arm is not dropping off to the side or forward. It's staying right on top of that shoulder all the way through. That's 2. Going for 3. I think.
The video show 4.
Yes. All right. So this is 5. I stand corrected. At 6. It's a tough time counting and cueing at the same time. 7. So soften the knee if you need to. 8. Going for 9. Really nice, everyone. And final rep, 10. And make sure you complete that rep fully at the top and then bring your arm down. Good. All right, from there, we're going to grab a frisbee or something slidey at home. And you may or may not need the yoga blocks or books, okay? I don't think Dan will need them, but we'll show you both variations. So we're going to work from a pike position into a rear support. He's got his feet on the sliders and then hands by his side. In the front position, his shoulders are slightly protracted. He's pushing them down and away from his ears. From there, he's going to push the hips off the floor. So he's driving to the floor. He's going to come into a rear support, shoulders open, retracted now, and then he's going to pull his hips through the hands into that pike. So if you can't get your hips through, you can pop the yoga blocks on either side of your hips, and this will give you a little bit more space to work with. So you can see Dan's hips are now higher off the floor, and that can bridge that gap. And we're going to work for time on this one, okay? We've got 60 seconds. So when you're ready, set yourself up, find that pike, hips off the floor, and then push out into your rear support, open up the shoulders, squeeze the butt, and then come back through. Good. So slowly transitioning between the 2 positions, pausing in each position for a second or so before you move back. And you can see the hips are coming through past Dan's hand in the pike, and in the rear support, he's not arching his back, he's staying nice and hollow through his body. Good. Really nice. And then pushing the floor away. So you see the space between Dan's shoulders and his ears, they are not creeping up. He's pushing through the floor and driving them down. We're already just through halfway, guys. So try and find each position, pause for a second, rather than just flying through back and forth. Good. Last 10 seconds, guys. Let's maybe 1 or 2 more good reps here. And we're finishing in our pike. So let's make this the last rep. Rear support, and then once you're back in your pike there, you can pause. Well done. We've got 1 more round here. So coming back onto the windmills with your tennis ball or your dumbbell. And I'll try to do a better job counting this time. See how we go. All right, we're starting on the left side again. So left toes pointing straight ahead. You can see Dan's turn his right toes out to the side again. And let's take your dumbbell up and overhead. Straight arm, and then come down for 1. Rotate in that shoulder, and then drive up. Good. Going down for 2. And up. 3. And coming up, good. 4. And up, keep your hand and shoulder stacked. 5. Nice, going for 6. Rotate as much as you can, and then unravel on the way up. 7. Good. 8. Last 2 reps on this side, guys. Really good. And going for 10. All the way back up to the top before we change over. Good work. All right, from there, we're going to swap the weight around to the other side. Right toes now forward, left out on the angle. Taking your right hand up and overhead. lock your elbow and then start to internally rotate that shoulder, leading with your pinky finger, and then drive back up to it. That's 1. And 2. Good, guys. 3. 4. And 5. Good. Seemingly lightweight can get very heavy very quickly with these ones. 6. Oh, did I just get 5?
That's right.
Yeah. 7. Good. Going for 8. So keeping a nice rotation all the way through, especially if you're getting tired. 9. And going for 10. Last rep to finish off the windmills. Good. Well done. All right, so I'm going to grab that weight off Dan, and then he can set back up in the rear support to pike to rear support. There we go. So feet go back onto your slider, hands on yoga blocks or books next to you, or just on the floor if that is easy enough. And let's start to push up into that pike first, so hips off the floor, and then work into your rear support. So open up the shoulders, chest out, hips up, and then drag the feet and hips through. Try and get the hips past your hands into that pike, shoulders up, protracted in that position. Good. Nice. So we're going to hold each position for a second, max it out before you transition back the other way. Shoulders staying down and away from the ears. We don't want to let them collapse and sink down. Good. And hands can be turned out to the side. Whatever the most comfortable position is for you, bring your elbows here. Good. And you can see Dan's knees and toes are pointing straight up to the ceiling, not letting them roll out. And we've got 15 seconds to go. Good. Keeping those hips nice and high off the floor in your pike. And then really squeeze shoulder blades back behind you in your rear support. Finishing that last rep. So from your rear support, find the pike, pause, and then you can lower your hips down to the floor. Good. Well done. All right, for our next round, guys, we've got 2 exercises coming up, and we don't really need any equipment for these 2. The first one, we're going to work through a little bit of spinal extension rotation with our twisting bears or sweeping table. So we're going to give you 2 options for these ones here. Let's do the sweeping table demo first. So the easier variation is starting the other way around. Sweeping table. In the table. So we just. Sorry, communication issues here. So we're starting with the hands behind us, just like we did for the table raises. But this time, Dan's going to take one hand up the floor. He's going to sweep the arm across, push through the other hand, and then he's going to extend his hips up. He's going to try and open up through his spine, as you can see, reaching the hand over and then coming back down. If you want to do the twisting bears, which is going to be a slightly more challenging, you're going to start in the bear position. So the other way around, hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips. And now Dan is going to step one leg through between the other hand and foot, and then he's going to rotate open. Same extension through the spine and the hips, and then he's going to step back into the bear and over to the other side. So when you're ready, guys, just join in whichever variation you've chosen to do, and we're going to work through about 60 seconds here. So it looks like Dan's going with the twisting bears. So slowly working into these guys, especially the first few reps, just warm into it. Don't push too hard. The arm that's on the floor, here you can see Dan's pushing out of the floor. He's not letting this collapse down. Okay. And we're going to try and really reach that top hand. If anyone is super flexy, you might be able to get that hand all the way to the floor. But that just depends on where you're at. We've got 20 seconds to go, guys. And as you can see, Dan's feet are fairly close. So when he steps through and opens up into that twisting bear, his knees are over his ankles. So you've got that drive up to the ceiling. If you end up with the legs straight, it's going to be really hard to get that extension. Good. And then just finishing the rep that you are on. Good. Nice work. All right, from there we're going to work through the 3 different positions of your push-up. So the first one is the top of your push-up, which is basically your front support hold. You're going to hold for 10 seconds. You're going to lower down halfway to the middle of your push-up. You're going to hold for 10 seconds there, then all the way down to the bottom. Hold for 10. Either push back up if you've got the strength, or knees down to the floor, come back up to the top with knee support. We got 2 rounds through this. Okay, so Dan will maybe demo 1 round, and then we'll go through 2 rounds altogether. So first position is just your front support. He's pushing through the shoulders, bum is tucked under. You got 10 seconds here, then you're going to lower yourself halfway down to the push-up, holding here for 10 seconds. And then for 10, all the way down, bottom position, body is off the floor, and then push back up to the top or use the knees. Okay? 2 rounds, 10, 10, 10, push back up, and we go straight into the second one there. So find your front support, guys. Tuck your butt under, push toward through the shoulders, and we're holding here. As we go down to the next position in a moment, try not to lose your body shape. Okay, we've got another 3, 2, and 1. Coming halfway down, holding there for 10 seconds. Good. Nice and strong. That's up, guys. Really good. Hold that angle steady, and then coming down into right into the bottom position. Keep the butt tucked. Good. Try not to collapse onto the floor. We've got another 3, 2, and 1. Push up back to the top. Good. Find that front support. And we're back into the second round here. Good. Push the floor away through your arms and shoulders.
Halfway there.
And then we're lowering ourselves down halfway. Good. Find that position. Keep squeezing your butt, belly button pulling in, shoulders are strong. And then right to the bottom, holding there. Really nice, guys. It's your last one here. Hold it. We've got another 3, 2, 1, and coming up. Good. Nice job. We've got 1 more round, and then we'll have a little break. Okay. So we're going back into the twisting bears or the sweeping tables. So you can choose to keep the same variation, or if you need to scale it up or down, then please feel free to swap it over to the other variation. Dan is going for sweeping tables on this round. So you can have a look if you can't remember. Ready, guys? We're going 60 seconds, and the clock is on now. So pushing through the floor on one arm, reach the other arm up and across, and then changing arms. Big drive out of that supporting shoulder. If you don't open that shoulder and drive through there, you'll end up locking yourself into position more like the tabletop. You want to try and really drive out of the floor. Get as much extension through your upper back, through the hips. So actively squeezing your butt here will help as well. Good. If you get to a point where either of those variations is getting a little bit much, just revert to your table raises. We are almost there though. You've just got another 15 seconds. So that's maybe another 3 reps or so. Really nice, good. And then once you finish the one you're on, you can pause there. Good. And then we're going back into those push-up holds. So starting the front support, and we're going to go through 2 rounds of 10 seconds in each of the 3 positions. Ready? Find your plank, push to the floor, tuck your bum under, 10 seconds here. Good. Keeping the hips in line with the shoulders, don't let them sag too low. Good. And then we're going halfway down there. Good. 10 seconds in this position. If you're shaking, embrace it. Stay strong. Holding there. Good. All the way to the bottom. You've got the option to drop the knees if you need to, but keep tension. So we're still actively holding. For 3, 2, 1. Push back up to the top. Straight back into your front support hold. We've got 10 seconds here. Really nice. Last time through this round, guys. Holding strong. Halfway down. Find that halfway mark. Good. Keep a nice strong body line. Try not to arch your back. Good. And all the way down to the bottom for your last one. Stay active. Big push through your arms and shoulders for your last 3, 2, 1, and pushing up or coming down to the floor. Good work. Really nice. Grab a quick drink, and then we've got one more round to go through, or one more set to go through of 2 other exercises. Are we still good on the time?
Yeah, okay. 2 minutes? We've got 3 more minutes on the clock anyway. We've got for 30, so.
Okay.
It's halfway hard to hard one, look.
Yeah, I could see in one of your shoulders was not like me.
Doesn't look right.
All right, let's get back into it, guys. We've got 2 more exercises we're going to work through. The first one is an eccentric push-up. We're going to elevate our hands for this one. So grab your Euro blocks or your books, and then I'm going to just get Dan to set them up for the right distance for his shoulders. So hands will be on the blocks. He's going to come up into his front support, and we're going to lower over 5 seconds right into the bottom of that push-up. So he's almost going to try and let his chest go slightly past his hands for this one. So slowly coming down over 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then push back up on 1. Okay, you can pause there for a second. We've got 8 reps, guys. We're going to work through them together. I'll count us through those 5-second negatives. So elevate your hands. If you need to do them on your knees, that is perfectly fine. Okay, we're going to make sure they're good form. If that means regressing, then please do that. So let's find our front support. And we're going to go down over 5. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. That's 1. Good. Down over 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. That's 2. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 3. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. That's 4. Good. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 5. 4, 5, 5. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 6. Good. 2 more, guys. Nearly there. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. That's 7. Last rep. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up for 8. Good work. Nice way to make your push-ups a whole lot harder. All right. From there, I'm going to get you to grab your stick. If you do have a long resistance band, grab that and just pop it onto your stick. Okay. We're going to work almost through a Cuban press with this one. So Dan will be standing on the band to add the resistance. If you don't have the band, you can just work through it with the stick alone, or a couple tennis balls or light dumbbells would do the trick here as well. From there, he's going to pull his elbows out to the side. So he's going to find a 90-degree angle where his shoulders and elbows are aligned. So he's going to pull up. Now he's going to externally rotate. So he's going to bring his forearms up and around, and then he's going to press up to the top into an overhead press. Coming back down, elbows in line with the shoulders, internally rotate, and all the way down. We're going to work for time here, guys. So just making sure you really hit those positions. The hands are up to close, but when you pull up, you have your elbows, your wrists in line. You're going to externally rotate and then press. So when you're ready, let's do it. So pulling up. Line up your shoulders, elbows, and wrists. You're going to externally rotate and then press up. Good. As you come down, elbows are coming just back. Ooh, there's a block. Align with your shoulders for that internal rotation before they lower down. So as you can see here, Dan is keeping the elbows in line, and now he's internally rotating. Once he's maxed that up, then he's letting his arms come down. Nice. I reckon he's going to think twice about how nice it's going to be to me and Kim stretch this week. Good. We've got 20 more seconds, guys. So last few rounds, trying to keep nice and straight through your body as well. Resist the urge to let the ribs flare out. Last rep, I reckon. Good. And then once you're back down in the bottom, you can pause there. All right, we'll pop this aside and we've got one more round through, starting with the push-ups. All right, so let's grab the blocks for your hands. Elevate those. And then coming into your front support hold, pushing up. We've got 10 seconds here, guys. Straight elbows, push through the shoulders, bum tucked under. Good. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just jumping one back in the set. Sorry, my bad. So we're doing the negatives. Let's go again. Coming down over 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pushing up for 1. Good. And down over 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pushing up. Good. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up for 3. Good. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up for 4. Good. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 5. Good. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. That's 6. Good. 2 more. Down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up for 7. Last rep, guys. Keep it nice and controlled. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up for 8. Well done. Sorry, I was going to do those push-up holds again. I reckon you've done enough of those for today. From there, grab your stick and your band. And we're going through one more round on the Cuban press. So step onto the band if you're using one. Find the right width grip on the stick. And then we're going to work through 60 seconds here. So bring the arms up, externally rotate, and then press up overhead. Good. Slowly down, internally rotate, and arms back to the floor. Good. So find the right weight or resistance when you can hit all those positions and you can complete them with good form rather than going too heavy and then struggling through. Okay. So the limitation here will probably be your external rotation and internal rotation, how heavy you can go for that part. You might be able to press heavier overhead if you didn't have that internal external rotation in the movement. Good. And we're trying to, once you bring the elbows up, keep them there in place for the rotation. Imagine they're resting on a shelf while you rotate through, and same on the way down. Good. Last rep here, guys. Just complete one more rep with good form. And once you've done that, we'll finish up there. We'll have a quick stretch to wrap it up. Well done, guys. So Dan is going to come into a capsule stretch for me. So you can start on his back with his arm out to the side. So he's lining up his shoulder and his wrist, and then he's just going to roll onto that arm. Okay. His right arm, he's just rolled onto his left, is reaching up overhead. He's going to try and bring that right shoulder to the floor as much as he can. If you would like to make that stretch stronger, you can slide up the same leg as the arm that's underneath you. So for Dan, he's got his left arm under his body, he's sliding the left leg up. Now we're just going to hold that stretch here for a moment. Breathe into it. And another way to make that stretch stronger is to just slowly walk your fingers up on the right side and try and roll the right shoulder closer to the floor. Well done today, guys. Good. Just holding the stretch for a little longer here. And then after your next exhale, slide that leg down if you had it up, and then you can slowly roll onto your back, off that arm, and then onto the other side. So wrist and shoulder in line, roll on top of that bottom arm, reach your other hand up and overhead, and then if needed, slide your leg up to the top or up the side of your body. And if you feel any pinching through the front of the shoulder, through the pec here, just play with the positioning of the arm underneath you a little bit, and you'll probably be able to find a position where you can alleviate that.
3, 2, 1, rest.
Good. Just taking a couple more breaths here, guys. After the next exhale, slowly slide that leg down, and then you can roll off that bottom arm and come up. I'll just get you to come into a seated position, and then I'm just going to roll those shoulders up a few times. Just go about 3 big circles in one direction and 3 circles the other direction. Good, just loosening up through there a little. And once you've done your 3 circles or so in each direction, we are all done for today. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thanks,